Good afternoon, doctor. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, doctor. So, how are you, doctor?
How are you doing? All good, all good.
Very happy Doctor's Day to you.
Thank you. Thank you, and I wish the same to all my colleagues.
Yes, yes, absolutely. To all the doctors, wherever they are, because they do a lot for, they're thankless people who we forget to thank them all the time. They are tired, they're hungry, they're sleepy, but still they will put their 100%, every time. So yeah, I'm thankful to all the doctors, and I wish all the doctors a very happy Doctors Day. So, doctor,
Thank
how
you.
is your life as a pediatrician? Is it different as a doctor or as a because as a pediatrician you get to meet a lot of children. So, how different is it?
So, there are two things. If a child comes in happily, we are happy. But if a child is not well, suppose a baby who has come to me at day 5 or day 6 and the baby is very sick, then obviously we are not happy. We are definitely treating the child, but it's not a very good feeling that maybe due to some negligence or maybe due to some illness, the baby is not well. So it's always a good feeling when a child goes back happily, and that is all we want. That is the satisfaction in the job that we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
For people who have joined us, this is Dr. Sourojit. He's a renowned a pediatrician and a neonatologist. And he's joined us earlier and he's shared his insight with us. Today he's joining us for a session on breastfeeding and how there are different tips and how we can help mothers who are currently not working right now, how we can help them get back to work while also maintaining sufficient nutrition for their children. So, doctor, what are the best practices to store breast milk for working mothers?
So, the main thing is that the new thing that has come up, according to mothers, they think that when they will have to join back work at around 6 months of age of the child, then they should start and go back to the formula milk. But that is not important. That is absolutely not supposed to be done because you need to introduce food to the child. Once you introduce food to the child, your milk intake, the baby's milk intake will automatically go down. You should not stop breastfeeding, but you should not go back to formula milk or any other animal milk. That is absolutely absurd thinking, I'll say. So the best way to store is always use BPA-free plastic bottles. Always use, if that is not available, you can use glass bottles, you can use steel containers, properly washed. You can use breast milk bags that are available. So there are many ways that you can store. It is never an option to go back to formula milk if you are starting your work. It is always important that you start your food correctly, you start your food nicely and properly, and you give good food to the child for the proper nutrition because the next 6 months, the child will not grow as rapidly as the baby was growing in the first 6 months. It will be a little slow. The weight will be a little slow, but don't get disheartened. The baby is growing taller. So the food introduction is very important. The food should be introduced at the right time, at the right pace, which is going to enhance your baby very nicely. Otherwise, at around 9 months of age, there might be anemia setting in, and anemia we do not like. We do not like anemia. We do not like the baby to be given iron drops, which is very awful in taste.
Okay.
We do not like the baby to be given any blood transfusion. So it's better that we introduce good food. We should get good nutrition and good iron from the food itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is like for first 6 months, a baby should be only given breast milk, nothing else.
Yes. Yes. No water, no good tea, nothing else, only mother's milk. It is the best thing that you can give to your child. That is the best gift that you can give to the whole life of the child. It protects babies from many different diseases. See, the way that we have been brought up. right?
Yes.
The environment now has changed a lot. The diseases like diabetes, hypertension, cardiac diseases, obesity, these are all new age diseases, I'll say. Malnutrition, I'll say it is not the child will not gain weight or become very thin or something. That the malnutrition is about the vitamins and minerals. The baby might be becoming obese, but the nutrition wise, the baby is not proper. The baby's iron stores will be less. So
Yes.
that is important. The nutrition is very important for the mother as well as for the baby. So first 6 months, the mother should be taking ample amount of good food and good milk, good amount of water, so that the intake is good and the output is good. Even the babies who are born, maybe the mothers who are not so well off, maybe the baby is born in the streets or in the government hospital, that doesn't baby will not get milk. The baby will get milk from the mother, but the nutrition matters. If good nutrition, good milk supply.
Yes.
Good nutrition, good quality of milk will come. Yeah.
So, are there recommended time frames to store breast milk at room temperature in the
Yes.
freezer or in the refrigerator?
Yeah. Yeah. So if the temperature is good enough, like if you're staying in a cooler place, if you're in a room temperature, not the AC temperature, I'm talking about the room temperature. If the room temperature is around 24 degrees, the breast milk can be stored in a tabletop and you can store it for like around 4 hours. If you are keeping in the fridge, on the doors, or on the racks, then you can store it for 8 hours. If you are keeping in the freezer, you can keep it as long as 3 months. You have to thaw it well, keep the milk in the racks for maybe overnight. Always label the milk when you store it. Use good amount of good bags to store it, and always label the time frame where you have stored. Always use the milk that has been stored the last, and further on whenever the milk has been give the milk that way. You should not heat the milk, you should not microwave the milk. Let it come down to the room temperature and then give the baby the milk.
Okay. So, doctor, when it comes to working mothers, do they need to pump and store breast milk at their workplace? So they do that, and then what is the tips for them to store that milk very safe and with nutrition so that it remains
See,
nutritious
first
for them?
of all, the main hindrance that comes to the mothers is that how will the shyness. So you should talk openly. We should believe in a society where talking openly is very important. So we should talk openly about breastfeeding. We should talk openly to your managers that I'll be breastfeeding, I'll be pumping out my milk. So I need a comfortable place where I can store the milk, where I can pump the milk. You should use good quality pumping machines to pump out the milk, pump out each breast separately, and then store it. And always store in a place where the container container. You can store it in the glass container, fill it up with ice, and if there is no refrigerator available, then travel with that box to your home. Keep it in the fridge, or you can keep it in the tabletop. Let it come down to the room temperature. You can feed the baby. There are other options also, like if you are if you are a working mother, you are going out of the house maybe at 9 o'clock. Usually, we all leave the house at 8, 9 o'clock. So get up early and feed the baby once. The whole day, when you are not there, food should be given. As long as the baby is not, as long as the baby is at home without the mother, try to give food. And as soon as the mother is back home, directly breastfeed the baby so that the baby is also satisfied. In the workplace, you pump out the milk, you get that milk home, you can use it the next day when you are not there. So
So
there is no bahana, I'll say, कि formula milk start करना है.
Correct, correct. So then the best. So you told me one method that it should not be, if it is refrigerated, it should not be warmed, it should not be microwaved. Are there any more? So in the office you can't do that. I mean, you can't heat it. You can microwave it, but then you always. In some places, maybe in the office, maybe you can't store it in the fridge, in the freezer. So then what is the?
Carry a ice box. You can carry an ice box. You can put a few ice, and in between you can put the container and store it there. And when you come back, you take that ice box and come back home.
Yes. Doctor, we have a question. What should be the quantity and how many months, how many times should I give solids to my 9 months old?
As possible. As much as possible. I'll recommend giving food at least 5 to 6 times a day. And the bowl that we have usually have food in, it should be like a dal ki katori wala jitna amount, and at least 5 to 6 times minimum. Like you get up, the baby usually gets up in the morning at around maybe 7, 8 o'clock. You give breast milk, let the baby sleep and comfortably for some time. Then at 9, 9:30, let the baby get up, give breakfast. And then around 11 o'clock, keep it as a fruit time. Give fruit and the mid-morning time as a snack. You can give one fruit or a couple of fruits mixed together. Mix it in maybe curd, and you can give, mind you, I said no animal milk till 1 year, but you can give paneer and you can give curd. That is absolutely safe. Then at around 1 o'clock, you give lunch. At around evening, 5, 6 o'clock, you give an evening snack, and then dinner, and then breastfeed and off to bed.
Yes, doctor. So are there, lastly, could you share some advice or resources for, working mothers who are planning to transition back to work while continuing to, breastfeed?
So most important is like around 15 to 20 days before you start going to work, try breastfeeding more, and also introduce the solids. Introducing solids will give an independence to you also and to your child also. Try pumping and storing. Get into that practice of pumping, and talk to your managers, talk to your office colleagues. They will definitely understand. There is no human who doesn't understand that breastfeeding mother needs to pump out the milk. So pump out the milk, have an ice box, get some ice packs, keep it around, keep some breast milk storage bags or glass containers or steel containers, and you can definitely store this, and you get back to work, come back happily, play with your child, talk to your child. The child will be happy, you will be happy.
Thank you, doctor. It was a very insightful session. I hope you had fun in this session because
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure all the parents also understood the nuances of how important
One
breast milk is for you.
thing that I would like to add is, like, how do you know if the breast milk is like not gone bad? That is also very important. Maybe the temperature is not adequate. Maybe the temperature that you have kept was not adequate, and the breast milk might have gone bad. So when you take out the milk from the container,
Yes.
it will be like a thick layer on the above and a lighter layer below. You swirl it, and if it mixes up, then it's okay. If there it doesn't mix up, it forms a curdy layer and it smells foul or fishy. Do not use that milk.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that is one thing that I'd like to share the mothers that please do not hesitate in delaying your work, that your career is equally important, and start feeding the child, start weaning the child rightly so that the micro deficiencies do not set into the baby.
Yes. Viewers who have joined us, you can both follow us on our channels. Dr. Sourojit, as it is a very renowned neonatologist and a child pediatrician. We also provide parenting tips. Join us. Thank you, doctor. Have a great day.
Thank you. Same to you. Stay well.